Hi guys, Minecraft here, welcome to another Minecraft mod tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to add the tile entity to the game. So it's to the block and it's going to be just the basics about tile entities. So the first thing I want to do is implement tile entity provider. And that's how we're going to do it today, but next episode we're going to change it. And that's going to make us want to add a new method. So it's created this method. So I'm just gonna put a / to do here. So if you don't know what that does, makes it go to do complete this. So that's gonna come up here. That's my to do. So now I'm gonna actually make a new package, and it's going to be called .tile entities. And then add a new class in there, and I'm going to call that tile entity mini chest. Now I'm not going to be doing the inventory today, that's for the next tutorial, and all you want to do is hit extend tile entity and wait for it to load, because there is a ton of tile entities, just a normal tile entity here. So we can in fact store some data. So we're actually going to store quite a few stuff, and I'm going to have a private boolean, and I'm just going to call it a boolean just to show that you can store these. Private We're going to have an item stack, so private item stack, item stack, and Control-Shift-O, just import that. We're going to have a private array list, and I'm just going to initialize this, so new array list, and that one, and don't need anything there. Yay. So these are all the data that you can store in there, but basically a tile entity stores like these data in the tile entity. So two types of entity in the game. You've got a normal entity which like moves about and does all that lot, and a tile entity which is like an entity for a block, but it just like stores data and that lot. So you want to press Control Space and write to MBT, and I'm just going to change this to MBT here. And basically, writing to MBT is basically setting the stuff. So you want to do MBT dot, and the first one is set a boolean, and I'm going to call it a boolean, and that's going to be the value of a boolean. So we've done it for all of these, but for item stacks and array lists, it's actually different. So for the item stack, I'm just going to put item stack here just to label it. For an item stack, we do need to get an MBT tag compound. Yep, and that's going to be the stacks data. So that's equal to a new MBT tag. I spelt new wrong. And like so. That just initializes it there. Then you want to do this dot at item stack. It's supposed to be an really, but you know, dot write to MBT stack, and then you want to do MBT dot set tag, and the key is at item stack. I know it's not grammatically correct, but that's what I'm going to do. Then just put stack in there. Now for the array list, which is going to be an array list of integer, it's a tag list of integer tags. And basically it's an MBT tag list, and it's going to be called list, and that's equal to a new MBT tag list. Yep. Then we want to do a for loop, so for int I equals 0, I is smaller than this dot a list. I called it an array list dot size I plus plus. That's going to go through all of the data in the array list, and then you want to do MBT tag compound, and I'm just going to call it, I can't call it MBT, so I'm going to call it compound, and that's going to be equal to a new MBT tag compound. And then you want to do MBT.set integer, and the ID is going to be ID, the value is going to be I, and it's also going to have another integer, so MBT.set integer, and it's going to be the value, so the actual value of the MBT, and that's going to be this dot a array list dot get, and that's get I, so it's going to get the ith one, and that's going to want me to cast that to an integer, and then list dot append tag compound, and then at the end it's nbt dot set tag a array list to the list. And there we go. So that is it for the write to MBT. But there's also another method called read from MBT. So if you just do press Control space and get this, I'm going to rename this to MBT again, and then underneath this you want to do all of you just want to like say what it is. So you want to do this dot a boolean equals MBT dot get boolean, and the string is a boolean. So again, it's a bit different for the item stack and a bit different for the list. So again, we're going to label it item stack, and basically this dot item stack is equal to item stack dot dot load item stack from MBT. And it's going to be MBT dot get compound tag, and it's going to be a item stack. So basically what we called it up here. So that's going to load the item stack. Now we need to do another tag list of integer tags, and again it's a MBT tag list, and that's equal to compound dot get, equal to, and that is equal to MBT dot get tag list, and it's going to called at list, sorry, at array list. So that is going to be called array list, and the type is going to be 10. And yeah, that will make sense. It's 10 because it's an integer, and because it's a tag compound. That's an object. So if it's an integer, that would be 3. If it was like a 0 is 0, for a byte it's 1, for a short it's 2, for int it's 3, for a long it's 4, for a 5 it's float, for a 6 it's double, for a 7 it's byte array, for an 8 it's string, for a 9 it's list, for a 10 it's an object, and for 11 it's an int array. So that just says the type there, and then it's this dot at ArrayList dot clear. So you want to just clear it, and then we're going to just set every single one in it. So it's for int I equals 0, I is smaller than list dot tag count I plus plus. So that's going to go through all of the stuff in that list. So we want to get the MBT tag compound, and I'm going to call that compound, and that is equal to list dot get compound tag I. Yeah, so it's going to get the compound tag for I, then the integer for the ID, that's equal to MBT dot, no, that's, and then we want to add int I, and that's equal to compound dot get integer, and we call it ID. So we're just going to get the ID, and we're going to get a value now. So that's value, and that's equal to compound dot get integer value. Yay. And then this dot a list, the array list, yeah, dot ensure capability, and it's ID, and then this dot at array list dot set, and then it's going to be ID, and it's going to be the value. Yep, value. That's just going to set the value. Okay, so that's that done. But I want to show you that this works. So if you want to make so it like updates every tick, does something every tick, so implement, and it's called implement iTickable. Now, util1, and that's going to want you to make a new method. Now, if you're doing this in 1.8.9, you're going to have the iTickable method. If you're doing this in 1.8, you're going to have to use iUpdate player list box. Yeah, I know, but they decided to rename it, which is great. And basically, I want to do this dot world object dot is remote. So I want to check if the world object is not remote. So it's only going to print it on the client side. And I'm just going to do really simple system dot out dot print line and updated in tile entity, and I'm also going to system dot out dot print line, and I'm just going to print out int is equal to, and do a plus and int, and that's just going to automatically cast it to that. Then I'm going to add one to int, so int plus plus, and hopefully this works. But we've got a tile entity. We need to actually here fill it in, so we want to make a new tile entity mini chest. So that's going to do the tile entity, but we actually have to register it, and you register this on the common proxy. So I'm going to make a new one, so it's going to be a public void register tile entities, and all it is game registry dot register tile entity, and tile entity's class is tile entity mini chest dot class, and the ID I'm going to call it mini underscore chest. That's just the ID of it, so that's how it recognizes it. So you want to go to bit of everything, and you want to put it in the pre-init, and I recommend doing it first, and I'm going to call it proxy dot register tile entities. So if we run our game, we should see that everything works, so let's just wait for the game to load up. Okay, so the game is loaded up. So if we go into our test world, now we should see straight away something happen in chat, because we already have the chat in the game, and that's just a one about the client has received too many stuff. So we do in fact have to place it down again, and there we go, it's spamming my chat. Tile, that's increasing, so save and quit. If you just reload the world, and we should see that you're 60 odd or something, or maybe not. Do I have to update it? Excuse me. Yeah, so it does work. So tile entity does increase. I don't know what's happening there, but that should be fixed. Yeah, we should be able to fix that in the next episode. So yeah, so just want to say thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to watch any of my previous videos or last tutorial. So yeah, go check them out.